Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to manipulate the options for your test and also how to follow up with the student's performance and also view reports. So we're going to click on the test in question that we just created in the previous video. And so that I can modify the options, I need to deactivate this test. Now, it is important to note that if a student has already taken the exam, you will no longer be able to deactivate the test or change any of the categories or options on the test itself. So be well advised that before you administer the test, be sure that all your options and all your questions and everything you want to go over is already in the exam, because once a single student takes the exam, you will no longer be able to modify. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this gear here and I'm going to click on edit test settings so that I can access the test options. And I just want to briefly go over, there's numerous options here, but I want to go over the most important ones. Scoring. So if you want the students to get a penalty or gets points taken off while they take the exam, if they get a question wrong, you want to click on with penalty. If you want to do like a SAT style test where it only rewards the students for correct answers, then you do without penalty. Here you can set the percentage, like a threshold for the students to meet in order for them to progress or get credit for that examination. So if you want to make sure that all the kids get at least 70, then you can set the criteria, and this pretty much ensures that the student must get a 70% to get credit or to get a completed mark on their test. You can also leave that unclicked. They will set no threshold for that. You can also randomize the questions, which I highly recommend to prevent students from cheating from each other and viewing at each other's screens. So display the questions in random order. I highly recommend that. Here you can allow the students to do a linear style test where it's forward only. Basically, they go in sequential order, the questions do. You can do free navigation where the kids can skip around. And then you can do all the questions in one page. And as the hub recommends, I don't suggest you do that if you have a lot of questions on your exam. Here you can set the number of attempts each student can get to meet the threshold. So say you did set a percentage threshold, then it would make sense to give them multiple attempt, or you can just go unlimited right off the bat. That is totally up to you. And if you do give them multiple attempts, you can give them the choice of accepting the best attempt, first or last attempt, and you can give them time to take the quiz or test, or you can leave it unlimited. That is up to you. You can also give the student feedback right after each attempt. However, I don't recommend this also for academic integrity. You know, if the kids get the answers right off the bat, they may disperse those or share those with other kids. So I recommend leaving it as when you decide to give it, or after everybody gives a test or the test has been taken down, then you can reveal that feedback. You can also reveal the correct answers. Again, don't recommend that. Feedback on each particular question or on answer choices can also be provided for them, or by default give them no feedback. What I recommend that you do is administer the feedback yourself after the examination is complete. And the test mode. The test mode is a really good idea. Pretty much it locks all the browsers, the students' browsers, so they won't be able to look up questions or answers on Google or any other search engine. It basically locks the web browser to be only on the test until they complete the test. However, if your computers are not running on the latest software, it may not work properly. So I highly recommend that you leave that off unless you have new computers with the latest software, and just facilitate the old-fashioned way and walk around, make sure that everybody's on task. So once you set the options that you like, then you can hit save, and all those options have been saved for your exam. So if we look here at reports, as I mentioned earlier, once students start taking the test, you can get analytical data by clicking on question statistics or test statistics. So test statistics is an overview of the test. Question statistics provides you an item analysis, question by question, and if you link those with objectives, the data you receive is more meaningful. Nobody is taking my test, so I have no data, But as students start taking your test, and you'll see, like the average scores, how kids are doing, and it'll rank them, and it'll give you a lot of meaningful data pertaining to the test as well. And finally, another place where you can look at the reports is if you click underneath your course dashboard on a navigation tree here, follow up and reports, then it will look at the grade book. Then all of your students in your class will be listed, and you can see who has and who has not completed the assessment and what score they received on that assessment. Also, you can view progress report by learning objective, and these are pretty much the two most commonly used features on the follow-up reports. You're more than welcome to explore other options. However, for the test, I think with these two you'll be good. And as I mentioned earlier, once the students start taking your test, you will obviously get more meaningful data. So that pretty much is the basics that you need to start using the Hub test tool. Once you're ready to administer the test, as I mentioned earlier in the previous video, we can go ahead and activate the exam. So remember, once you finish editing all the options and all the questions and you're good to go, then you go ahead and hit activate, and that pretty much makes the test available to all of your students. And if you set the active time to be now, so it'll be automatically active. If you set the active date a few days in advance, then it will automatically activate itself at that date. So that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at hubhelp@houstonisd.org. Thank you very much for your time.